What is the best app for budgeting and tracking expenses? That is what I am talking about in today's video. I'm going to share the app that I use pretty much every day to help me manage my budget and track my expenses. I am Tiffany Thomas, your wealth mentor. I achieved financial freedom in my 30s and became a millionaire at 40. I'm here to help you do that even earlier and easier. Let's dive right in. All right, let's talk about what this best app for budgeting and tracking expenses is. The one I personally like to use is called Empower. It used to be called Personal Capital, but they recently changed the name to Empower. There are a few different reasons why I like this app the best, and then I'm going to share exactly how I use this for my budget or my spending plan. Okay, the first reason that I like Empower is because it is free. It's completely free to use the app. They have an add-on feature where you can work with one of their advisors and pay a fee for that, but just using the app is completely free. So it's not another subscription you have to add to your budget. Another reason I like this app is because you can see all of your expenses and all of your income and all of your assets in one place. You can see everything in Empower. You can link all of your financial accounts to Empower. For example, you can link your checking account, your savings account, if you have a 401k, or a Roth IRA, a traditional IRA, a taxable brokerage account, any credit cards that you have, any mortgages that you might have, anything financial that you can think of. And if for some reason they're not able to link up with one of your accounts, you can enter that information manually. For example, I have a taxable brokerage account with Ally, and when I was trying to set that up, I wasn't able to. I could hook my checking and savings that I have with Ally, but not the taxable brokerage account. And so I was able to just manually add that account and put in the amount I had invested and what it was invested in. So I can still track that in Empower without having it physically linked to that account. And their dashboard is very user-friendly. When you log in, you see your net worth right at the top, so all of your assets minus all of your liabilities. So you can easily track your net worth over time. And then it shows you a breakdown of all of your different accounts. So for example, if you had multiple mortgages, those would be listed together. And then all of your checking accounts and savings accounts are listed together. And then all of your credit cards are listed together. And they are separated out line item by line item, but they are just under the credit card category, for example. And they also show you different graphs so you can see your spending habits over time, or you can set up your budget amounts within Empower, and that way you can see if you are over budget on your eating out budget or on your travel budget. But you can see that nice graph, and it really helps to visualize what you are spending your money on so that you can make improvements. And then you can also click on transactions in there and see a whole list of your transactions. For example, like I have rental income coming in, so I can see all of the income amounts and when they came in. And then I can see when I made a purchase on one of my credit cards, or when I paid my mortgage payment, or when I paid my homeowner's insurance, or a whole number of different expenses. And not only that, when it lists out your expenses, you can change the categories of your expenses. So if it comes in and it says you are spending money at a bar or something, for some reason one of my HOA payments showed I was spending money at a bar, and I actually don't go to bars. But I can change that category so that it would say HOA payment instead of bar. And that way, when you're looking at your different transactions, you can look at the transactions under a certain category and see, for example, if you want to know how much you spend on eating out, then you can create that category and see exactly how much you've spent on eating out. And you can go back as far as you want to. When I first log into the app, it gives me a 90-day history, but I can change that to last year or just 365 days or whatever I want to. So I can see all of my transactions as far back as I would like. Maybe some of you have heard of mint.com, and I used to use mint.com, but I just use Empower now. And one of the reasons is because of their retirement section. They are just a lot more robust. You can see how much you are paying in fees for the investments that you have for retirement, which I think is really key because we definitely want to keep our fees as low as possible for our investments. And a lot of people don't even know they are paying fees. For example, I've talked to numerous people that have a 401k and they didn't realize that when they are investing inside of their 401k in a certain fund, they're paying what's called an expense ratio. It's a fee that's tied to that investment. And they don't realize that. But if they were using Empower, then they would be able to see exactly how much they are paying in fees. And that way they could choose a different fund to invest in if it had a lower expense ratio or if it had a lower fee amount. So I love seeing that. And then you can input your own criteria on when you want to retire, and it will tell you how much you need to have invested and if you are on track or not. And it gives you a really good estimate because it is pulling in all of your live data from all of your different accounts. So it's not like when you log into your 401k provider and it's showing you how much you have invested inside of just your 401k, and then perhaps it's giving you an estimate on when you would be able to retire, but that's not taking into account all of your other finances. And there are a lot of other benefits for using Empower, but I don't utilize all of them, so I just want to share in more detail exactly how I do utilize Empower. First off, I log into the app pretty much every day. I just open the app and it takes maybe 30 seconds to a minute to update all of my data. So I can see the exact amount I have in my checking account. I can see my balance on my credit card. I can see exactly how much I have left on my last mortgage. I can see if my payments were made, if I was charged an interest charge for some reason, or if I canceled a subscription, if it didn't actually get canceled and I got billed again. And that actually did happen to me. And since I was using Empower, I was immediately able to see that charge. And I was able to call the person, the company that I had the subscription with and had canceled, and let them know that I had received a charge, and they were able to revoke that charge. And I didn't have to pay for the charge at all because it happened before my credit card statement balance was due. But if I hadn't been using Empower, I probably wouldn't have noticed until I saw the actual statement balance on my credit card and saw that charge on there. And going along with that, a lot of people don't even look at their charges on their credit cards. They just pay their statement and call it good. But when you are using Empower, it's really easy to see exactly where you're spending your money and what is being charged. So it's also really easy to find any fraudulent charges that might be on your credit card or even your debit card. And that is definitely something I use this for as well, because when I'm logging in every single day, I can see the charges and I can see if there was a charge made that wasn't supposed to be there. And I actually had this happen on my Discover card. Someone was doing charges from Amazon, a lot of them right in a row. And so I was able to call Discover fairly quickly and tell them that I had these fraudulent charges, and they were able to take care of it right away. And honestly, I know this makes a big difference for me, at least. If I'm able to take a look at my finances and see where I am at every single day, I am a lot more aware on what I'm spending my money on, and that way I can track it and measure it and make improvements. But if I'm not actually tracking this and seeing where I'm spending my money, then I'm not going to make improvements. So rather than checking Facebook first thing in the morning or Instagram first thing in the morning, we can check our Empower account first thing in the morning and start to get better with our money. And then another way that I use Empower is actually to export all of those transactions that I see in Empower into my Google Sheet. I have a separate spending plan set up in a Google Sheet because I like being able to manipulate the data and just see the facts that I want to see in a spreadsheet or a Google Sheet. So what I do is take all of those transactions in Empower. Once I have categorized them the way that I want them, I export all of them into my Google Sheet. And that way I don't have to write down everything that I'm spending my money on or all of the amounts that are coming in. I don't have to type that in manually into my Google Sheet. I just export those transactions and then it populates my Google Sheet. And that way I can see exactly how much I've spent in all of my different categories. And then I can adjust. Maybe I've spent a lot of money on my travel category one month, and I think, all right, maybe I don't need to take another vacation for a while. So usually I will export my transactions every single month into my Google Sheet. And that way I can see how I'm doing month over month and then for the full year. And I can even compare that to last year. To give you an example, my homeowner's insurance went up drastically recently. It was almost 30%. And so I want to find a new homeowner's insurance. But if we aren't tracking this kind of stuff, then we're just kind of paying things blindly and not really making improvements. And if you are worried about the security with Empower, I've been using them for years and years and I haven't had any problems with them. So for me personally, I feel like they are a safe way to track my money and help make my budgeting a lot easier. And another side note I do want to bring up, apparently recently when you set up a free account with Empower, they make you sign up for an appointment with one of their advisors. But you can definitely cancel that appointment after you've signed up, unless of course you do want to meet with them, but it is not a requirement to use the free app. And if Empower is something you are interested in, I will leave a referral link below in the description. You can click on that and set up your free Empower account. And since I have been using Empower and making improvements with my finances over the years, that means that I have extra money to invest, which is how I was able to become financially free and become a millionaire. So if you are also looking to become financially free or become a millionaire and you want help with investing your money in the stock market, I have a free masterclass where I go over how I can help you invest in the stock market. I will leave a link below in the description. You can click on that and check out the free masterclass. Comment below and tell me if you are going to use Empower or if you like another app. I am curious to know. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information. And hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. And if you want to see even more great content from me, make sure and check out the videos on the side of the screen. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.